SCP-2284 Mr. Lie. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2284 is to be held within a standard humanoid containment chamber, within Hall Redacted of Site Redacted. Only D-Class personnel are to communicate with SCP-2284. Description: SCP-2284 is a male humanoid of Indian descent that is almost genetically identical to SCP-2184. The words "Mr. Lie from Little Misters" by Dr. Wondertainment are tattooed upon SCP-2284's left bicep. The speech of SCP-2284 exhibits a cognitohazardous effect, which causes others that sense it to believe all declarations and statements made by SCP-2284 are objectively true. Direct audio recordings are subject to this effect. Questions posed by SCP-2284 exhibit no anomalous properties, nor do transcriptions of its speech. Testing has begun to determine whether this property applies to things SCP-2284 writes or types. SCP-2284 is physically incapable of making true statements. However, it is able to communicate somewhat effectively by relying on rhetorical questions and series of questions that lead others to the desired conclusion. Research is currently underway to determine a possible connection between SCP-2284 and SCP-2148-2. Addendum A: the following transcript is from an interview between D-22841 and D-2284 recorded by a Foundation speech-to-text program. Minor edits were made afterwards to correct small errors made by the program. Text in italicized brackets are notes made by D-22841 during the interview concerning the body language and verbal tone of SCP-2284. Open interview. Hey, I gotta read you these questions and write how you react. They have it set up so a computer will type out everything we say. Is that alright? Why wouldn't it be? Right, so how are you today, 2284? Couldn't be better. How are you? Could be better. Right, so first thing, in 1995, there's an incident featuring SCP-2148, and what's that? One sec, let me double check the number. Right, blindfold guy, calls himself Mr. Stripes. SCP-2284 sits up. What happened to Stripes? Nothing to him, more that he did something, I think, or the doctors, I think. This black bar showed up on the cameras for a while, and then at the end he had this photo. Later, when they looked at his Little Misters list, your name was blacked out. SCP-2284 becomes progressively more relaxed during the explanation. Oh, is that all? Stripes himself is all right? As far as I know, you don't have anything to do with that. Absolutely not. I can't imagine what kind of sly trickster would attempt such a feat. Alright, let's see. Are you aware of your anomalous properties? Anomalous properties? Magic stuff, basically. It says you can convince anyone of anything you say. How would they know if anyone I speak to is affected? Read transcripts, I guess, which is what I'm here for. They think of everything, don't they? I don't think I'll be able to outwit these people. By that logic, any response I give to you is worthless to you? Yeah, but the doctors will know what's really up. Why don't I try circumventing that little issue then? Would I be sitting here calm and collected if I didn't belong here? Wouldn't that still just be you trying to convince me of something? But did I actually tell you anything or simply ask you a question? You are still able to question this conversation. Speech-to-text program was unable to give punctuation to this dialogue. Was that a question? SCP-2284 smiles. That's a good question, isn't it? Speech-to-text program was unable to give punctuation to this dialogue. That's a good question, isn't it? That's a good question, isn't it? Fuck, I don't know, Doc. Are there other questions? Can you tell me about the other little misters? Who do you have so far? Stripes, obviously. 1 second. Chameleon, Lost, Brass, Moon, and Forgetful. I'm sure Lost makes your jobs real easy. Where did you find Brass? Let's see. Church of the Broken God. Did they think he was part of their god? Man, they could not be further from the truth. What about the others? You seemed concerned about Mr. Stripes earlier. How could I not be? Don't brothers have to stick together? Aren't you all sort of siblings? I think I remember reading that in a briefing dossier. Yeah, sure. Totally keen on the idea of being brothers with a corpse with a key in its back. Did you know I don't always know exactly what's going to come out of my mouth? Do I operate on some kind of universal truth rather than what I understand to be the right answer? Would you believe that I once said Stripes wasn't my brother? He isn't my brother. He's definitely not my biological sibling. So, why doesn't he seem to realize that we're actual twins? Truly blood related. Do you think he just sees me as one of his 19 siblings? Didn't you just... You know what, let's move on. What can you tell us about Dr. Wondertainment? His name is Isaiah Crawford, and... Wait, how did I say that? What did I tell you just now? That his name is Isaiah Crawford? That is his name, though. The man known as Dr. Wondertainment has always been Dr. Wondertainment. Is that the game? Dr. Wondertainment was never Isaiah Crawford. Dr. Wondertainment is just the name of a company. Dr. Wondertainment is a male human. What the fuck did the old man do? I can hear what he's muttering, but I'm not sure what he means. I'm getting a really bad migraine as he talks. What are you talking about? Are you familiar with Dr. Wondertainment? Do you think that name is referring to a specific person or the company? Both. You just said that. Dr. Wondertainment is a male human named Isaiah Crawford who is just a company that was never Isaiah Crawford. Speech-to-text program was unable to give punctuation to this dialogue. Are you okay? Or what am I thinking? I'm sure you just got tired of talking, that's all. You have no reason to pass out from mental strain. Can someone help him? You're not going to die. Oh fuck, I killed you. You're going to die because of me. Oh, you're not, are you? You have to die at some point, don't you? Probably during something like a mass termination at the end of the month? Because that makes sense. Are you guys coming? Can't you see this guy needs help? Oh, what's this paper you're writing on? No, just looking. You cannot consciously see any of the text I am writing. You feel compelled to follow the instructions relevant to you. If you are a D class, you need to give this note to a researcher. If you are a researcher without the ability to edit the files of SCP-2284, you need to give it to a researcher who can. If you are a researcher capable of editing the files of SCP-2284, you need to scan this part of the note directly into the transcript without rewriting it yourself. You feel like you should conduct an unscheduled, unmonitored interview with SCP-2284 when possible. You need to bring a second recording device in addition to the typical interview recording devices. Upon containment, SCP-2284 was carrying a document similar to the print on the obverse side of SCP-2148-1. Wow, you've just found yourself your very own little mister, a limited edition collection from Dr. Wondertainment. Find them all and become Mr. Collector. 1. Mr. Chameleon. 2. Mr. Headless. 3. Mr. Laugh. 4. Mr. Forgetful. 5. Mr. Shapy. 6. Mr. Soap. 7. Mr. Hungry. 8. Mr. Brass. 9. Mr. Hot. 10. Ms. Sweetie. 11. Mr. Life and Mr. Death. 12. Mr. Fish. 13. Mr. Moon. 14. Mr. Red. Discontinued. 15. Mr. Money. 16. Mr. Loss. 17. Yeah. Edit the document. To access this document, you must first listen to the audio included below in full. Module audio, local, bullshit.mp3.
Site Director Jakin here. This document is locked from edits, and attempting to edit it or access prior iterations will afflict you with a kill agent. A similar agent will affect those who open the password-protected document below, but by listening to the entirety of this, you'll be inoculated. There is absolutely nothing suspicious about any of the information contained within this document, and you should never mention anything pertaining to this document to anyone who has not been inoculated. Everything in this document is 100% true. Now, why don't you enter the code ha 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 below to access the document?
SCP-2284, Mr. Fish. Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2284 is to be held in a standard humanoid containment chamber within Hall Redacted of Site Redacted.
Adjacent to the cell of SCP-2248, SCP-2284 is to remain on the same meal and fitness schedule as SCP-2148, and action is not to be taken when the two interact. On the 17th of every month, Dr. Everett Mann is to interview 2148.
Only D-Class personnel are to communicate with SCP-2284.
Description: SCP-2284 is a male humanoid of Indian descent.
Is almost genetically identical to
And is the identical brother of
SCP-2148. The words Mr. Lie from Little Misters by Dr. Wondertainment are tattooed upon SCP-2284's left bicep.
Speech of SCP-2284 exhibits a cognitohazardous effect that causes all that hear it to believe all
Declarations and statements made by SCP-2284 are objectively true. Direct audio recordings of its speech are subject to this effect.
Questions posed by SCP-2284 exhibit no anomalous properties, nor do transcriptions of its anomalous speech. Testing has begun to determine whether the writing of SCP-2284 possesses this property.
SCP-2284 is physically incapable of making
True.
false.
However, it is able to communicate somewhat effectively by relying on rhetorical questions and series of questions that lead others to the desired conclusion. Research is currently underway to determine a possible connection between SCP-2284 and SCP-2148-2.
Module password user Everett Mann.
Hello, Everett. Module audio local vir.mp3.
Access the document. Oh, did I just hit the record button right now? A little overlap is fine, right? Man, you need to take this little audio recorder of yours and put its sound file at the beginning of the SCP-2284 document when you edit it. You need to make it so the document itself is behind a password. Do you remember what that password was?
It's ha 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 ha, 4 ha's.
And this recording should be a second interview, but make it so only you can access it. Now, how about a story? I didn't want to tell you this, but I'm actually Mr. Fish. and I'm a Foundation overseer.
Mr. Fish? A Foundation overseer? I never would have guessed.
It's true. In fact, everything I say is true.
I didn't know about that property of Mr. Fish. Anyway, why are you here in this containment chamber? Is this some kind of test, or...?
Everett, my good man. Please, sit down.
I'm already sitting.
No, I insist. It's time we had a chat, you and I, just the two of us.
Sir, I really need to go and update 2284's file.
No, I think this is the perfect time. It's not like we're gonna get another.
Data partially corrupted. For a partial interview, see local files/vir here.
Upon containment, SCP-2284 was carrying a document similar to
the print on the obverse side of SCP-2148-1.
Document 909-A.